Hello, welcome back to the Great Unexplained Debate. We're talking about ghosts in general and just having a fairly open discussion on it. Now, just before the break, I was saying about somebody, Kieran, who was saying about there are three options with one of these comedians who fall on the floor. They either are a great actor, a schizophrenic, or they are psychic. Now, if you even look at it remotely logically, they are the only three options it can be. They are the only three. But I remember Kieran being attacked by people saying, "How dare you say these people are mad?" You go, no, that's just one of the options. He's not said he believes in any one of the three. It's just, and this is why I think, like yourself, certainly someone who's known as being sceptical, and and you guys as well. The more you do this, the more this will be thrown at you as well. Is that you're not saying I disbelieve in it. You say, but I have to look at every option, absolutely every option. And that's a hard thing to do, because you've got to come up with the possibility. I remember when one glass thing fell off of a mantelpiece, Paul Kieran was trying to come up with an explanation other than the paranormal for the reason for the glass going off, and everyone said, it couldn't have done that. He said, no, but it's a possibility, and even if it's a 0.001% of a possibility, it's still a possibility, and you have to investigate that just as vigorously as you investigate the possibility it could be a ghost.
We have people come on our investigations on a regular basis, and obviously they kind of know a little bit about me and what I think about activity and things, and trying to rationalise it. And bless him, he comes up to us, he's taking photos and he's got orbs on his photos, and he comes up to us and goes, "Look, okay, I know what you're going to say, but I think these are orbs, what do you think?" And I was like, well, yeah, they could be. If you want to interpret them as orbs being part of a spiritual manifestation or ghost, whatever, that is entirely up to you, and you're welcome to do that. But I like to throw in different thoughts and theories about what they could be, so you can have a think about it.
But that's the point, that just by putting in other options of what things could be, people take that as cynicism, and you kind of, there's that point, because if we can eradicate the natural explanations for these things, the only thing that is left is a paranormal explanation.
Some people really get uppity when you say, well, I think it could be dust, or I think it could be this, and they go, I don't, that is definitely a spirit, that's a ghost. And I'm like, you're welcome to believe that.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Exactly.
Some people get very defensive, because that's all they believed on. And like a skeptic, if somebody can be outright defiant that they don't believe, but you can never convince them because they don't believe.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I've said it before, and I've said it numerous times before, that when I'm speaking to anybody doing an investigation, I say to them, look, I'm not here to convince you that ghosts exist. I'm not here to convince you they don't exist. You make your own mind up about what you want to believe.
But that's what we do, is we collect, all we do, any paranormal group can do, is collect data. That's all you can do. You collect, whether that be eyewitness accounts of people who have come with you, or whether that be a public events company, whether it be a private company, whether it be one person on their own who likes to sit in haunted places. They're gathering data, and it's down to everyone else how they process that data. I mean, I think that it's one of the most arrogant things I've ever heard. Is one, I won't say his name, but he's a professor. And for me, it goes to prove that just because you're a professor doesn't mean you're intelligent. And he just said that ghosts don't exist. And I said to him, but you can't say that, because people have seen them. I said, surely what we should be saying is, what is a ghost? And he said, no, they don't exist. And I said, so you're telling me anyone who's seen a ghost is lying? He said, yes. I said, you've got millions of people around this planet. That's just an arrogant, ignorant statement from someone.
I guarantee you didn't say that on TV.
No, you probably wouldn't. But it's that point that in fact, knowing him, he's that arrogant. He probably would. He is that arrogant. But then again, he'd probably do it for the repercussions afterwards. But I think that and we had a fairly heated debate about it, and I've said that where I stand on it, that because of what's happened, not just to me, but because of what people have told me, and you can discount the 80% that people have made up to get people around the house or whatever. There's still 20% of the millions upon millions of ghost sightings that are occurring every year that are true. People have seen it, and I think it's our ability to say, it's our duty to say, what is it? Is it some electromagnetic field that we don't understand? Is it sleep states? Is it hallucination made by other magnetic fields that we don't understand? Or is it indeed the spirit of a dead person? But there is a ghost. There is a ghost out there. And it's for us to find out what it is. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I do. And there's so many. I mean, science is obviously constantly thinking about new theories about certain things. And I mentioned again on a different show that there are certain people that believe that the mind can exist outside the body after death. So, if that's the case, then why can't this thing called a spirit that we might have inside us live on after we die?
But is that point about also with the science thing? And I do think there's a way that science and spirituality, and I mean spirituality not as in a religion, but spirituality as in what we're trying to do. I think there is a way they can come together if they work together more closely. And a lot of that's coming from a lot of arrogance on the scientific side, because a lot of the spiritual side is very open and going, look, we want to work with you. And a lot of the scientific community is very kind of, oh God, why are these mad people? And it's wrong, and someone actually did say that to try to find your spirit is like taking an engine apart to find speed. You can't do it. You need it all together and all working to make it. But then you can see it. You can't. You can measure speed obviously by the amount of speed as far as you're going. But it's something you can't grasp.
You can't
speed.
grab it.
You can't go. This is speed, and you can't find it.
Not one thing next to whole.
Absolutely, absolutely. But this is the thing. But if we can, if we can measure this stuff, how do we measure it? I know there's lots of kit on the stuff now, but there's nothing
proven to catch, because nothing's officially caught anything, so you can't say that's a proven ghost hunting. That'll capture this, that'll do that. There isn't one proven yet.
It's again, I know I keep mentioning it, but when I do the investigations, I speak to people at the beginning and I explain the kit that we've got. And one thing I say to them is there is no piece of equipment here or in use by any other paranormal group throughout the entire world that is designed to detect ghosts. And I say, why is that? Because purely we don't have evidence to suggest what kind of parameters were needed to detect a ghost, because we don't know whether ghosts exist or not. If we knew that ghosts existed, then we could build some piece of equipment that would help us detect their presence.
But that's the thing, because we never caught one. Then again, if we caught one, we wouldn't need any equipment to measure it because we've got one.
There you go.
And it's that point, like you say, that there is no. We don't know what they're made of. We don't know what they do.
It's all there to try and help, and it's there to try and catch something. No, like saying it's never been proven.
No. I think it's that point. Then this is where the equipment a lot of the time is used so badly, because people think they're ghost hunting equipment. I hate the term ghost hunting. I think it's all ghost hunters. We're not ghost hunters. We're ghost finders. We're trying to find phenomena.
I'm a ghostbuster.
And but I think that with all that equipment, it's there to try and find the natural phenomena that is around. Like the EMF, the classic squeaky box that you sit there, and it's there not to go, oh, there's a ghost standing in front of you. You think, no, hang on, there's an EMF reading here. Let's try and find out where it's coming from. And if you can't find out where it's coming from, then at least you can say, right, well, in this area, there is an unexplained high level of EMF, but we don't know where it's coming from. It doesn't mean that...
It cancels out the definites, rather than... cancels that out, leads you to that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Who was the person who actually came up and said, ghosts emit EMF?
I've no idea. Probably the guy that makes these EMF meters. It's got millions of money.
Actually, by the way, this glass, everyone at home, this glass, which I'm selling for £25 each, these detect ghosts. We'll split it 50-50.
Yeah, all right.
These detect ghosts. If you get one of these glasses, there's one there behind me. This is what, but again, if you're going, there's so many things we can talk on, and unfortunately we've run out of time, so we've got to go. I was just about to come on to another question there, but please join us on the next great Unexplained debate. See you soon. Bye bye.
Boing, boing.